Hey, and welcome to another Monday Fun Day where we are gathering together and just having lots of fun. And if this is the first time you're tuning in, hello in this beautiful world of intimacy and love. And I feel this is like such a great time to start our Mondays because usually people are draining about, oh my God, Monday, another week ahead, right? Dina, and for us, it's like, hey, let's pick up that energy and let's make people more joyful and something to look forward to. That's why I love that our episodes are always running on Mondays as the lives, right? So, again, if this is the first time you're tuning in, welcome to this beautiful podcast, Passion Unscripted, where we talk about love and intimacy and anything what you want to discuss. Just bring it to our attention, and we are here without any shame, blame, and just discovering who we are and learning together. And that's a beautiful world. And my name is Irina Portnova. I'm all about manifestation. How do we manifest our great relationship with ourselves and with our partners? And I'm here with my co host, beautiful Dina. Dina, would you like to say a couple of words about yourself?
Yes, of course. Before I start about myself, I want to say I love Mondays just as Irina loves them. We are
Mhm.
changing the energy on Mondays instead of feeling drained that you need to
Mhm.
go. We help you feel up with new topics and daring topics. And I like this topic of yours, Irina, of today, of this week. We have Elle with us.
Yes, and good.
Yeah.
Hello. Always looking forward to this coming week. Woohoo! And we love to have you on lives as well.
Love it. So my name is Dina Alexander, and I am a life coach, a relationship coach, and a sex coach. And I do marry sex with spirituality because we are not animals. I think we can create using the sexual energy. That's what I do.
Mhm. I'm sorry, I'm just messing with my microphone. I kind of want to take it out, but then again, it gives me like all this shade. So I guess I'm just gonna keep it on. Keep it on. All right. Yes. Welcome, Elle. And let's just dive in because the topic is fun because we were just talking behind the scenes since I'm running my weekly digest newsletter. And I always try to have our topics related to what I'm sharing with my audience. And yeah, today we are talking about if you trust the connection, you wouldn't do this, right? And this is a fun topic to tune in, like, doing what? What are you talking about? Yeah, that's why we want you in so you can learn together what you wouldn't do, right?
Yes.
So, Dina, start us off, please.
Yes, and stepping into a truth like this might feel a little bit uncomfortable for someone that is listening to us now, but deeply liberating. And maybe we will talk about something that was hanging in the back of your head, but you were feeling uncomfortable, but we can help you release it and try it out. So I will start like this. You don't attract better love by chance. You decide what you're no longer available for. That's all. And let me explain a little bit more. Um, I will let it land
Mhm.
because if you're listening to us, many people are waiting for the right partner to appear all of a sudden, magically, while still tolerating the same patterns, the same confusion, the same misalignment, and then wondering why nothing changes. And here's the shift. Standards aren't something you explain, they are something you embody. Okay? And the moment you become clearer, truly clear, everything becomes to reorganize around you. People either rise to meet you or reveal that they can't. And today we're going to talk about the quiet power of deciding your standards in love from a place of self respect that no longer negotiate. And you know, I, I, I do believe that a lot of people will agree with us, but they don't implement this in their real life. They don't have the balls or the courage, uh-huh, to implement this. But that's what we're talking about at this moment. You need to have that courage or grow that courage to make a decision, to live your words, because everybody knows this, but you don't live it. So
Mhm.
tell me what comes up in you. I know
This
there is
is
something.
this is so true, and I just to be transparent. I also had to work through that. Even though I'm a very strong person, and even though I knew my worth all the time, but when I was trying to save our marriage, I kind of forgot who I was. And that's just to say that, of course, it's easy to know. And that's what a lot of people are saying. Oh, I know about manifestation. One thing is to know, and another thing is to live and experience it, right? Because again, if you say you know it, your results would show it. I'm going to repeat it again. If you say you know it, your results would show it. And if your results do not reflect what you truly desire, tough luck. You still have to work. We still have to do the work. And it
Yes,
doesn't matter that we are perfect. It means that we continue evolving and we continue growing. But it's amazing feeling when you know your worth and you do not tolerate anything less than that. It's incredible feeling. Is it tough? Yes, it is. But boy, isn't it fulfilling? 100%. And the more you connect to your truth, the more you know that you are not going to settle for anything that is less than that. Again, everything is, the way we find out about things is through comparison. If we had something good in our life, we know that we are not going to settle for something other than that. We make it as our benchmark, and from that point on, it can only go better, not worse. And again, it's not easy to hold that frame. That's why we never meant to do it alone. That's
yes,
why you have people like us who help you and support you on your journey, because guess what, we also have our coaches who help us.
yes, yes. So I love it. So what do you feel in your body with this connection, this chemistry? The moment where something real begin to open, and then you tighten up, you hold back, you change your tone, you started managing the moment instead of being on it. It's not because something is wrong, it's because it started to matter, and that's where everything shifts. So before we continue, you know what happens when connection becomes real? It slows everything down. In the beginning, connection feels easy. You're open, you're playful, you're present, because there is nothing at risk yet. But then something changes. You start to feel this person could matter, and suddenly your body becomes alert. It tightens up. Your thoughts become louder if you are a person that thinks a lot. Your actions become more controlled because you want to have control in something that it is impossible to control, because now there is something to lose. And the nervous system respond to that, no, not with logic, with protection. So tell me, what comes up?
Yeah, I love it. First of all, I just wanted to address Al's comment. He says, power of setting standards in love may sound easy as our lives always in a yo-yo state. Emotional states put us in the disparity between our spouses and us. Agreed? So again, Al, the more we learn and understand that we cannot control anything outside of us. We cannot control how our person feels about us. We cannot control how they behave towards us. We cannot control what they are saying to us, but we have the full control on how we respond to everything what that person is doing around us, right? And the first and most important thing is to have the respect for ourselves, where we are not playing small just to fit into somebody's life. And you know what? As you were sharing right now, Dina, this is like super important because for me, I always love to be authentic. And the more, like, whether this is the first date or this is living together, I'm just going to lay it out as is, right? And if somebody can't handle me, it's not because I'm too much. It's just because they are not enough for me, right? They are not good enough for me. And the more I stay with these standards, the more it's okay, right? Because yes, it can feel lonely, but when you attract that person that is yours, you are completed, like you feel fulfilled. And you know that that person, you can be as honest, you can be as vulnerable, because as you mentioned, that truly like living in our heads, it's not cool thing. So for me, I love to express. For me, it's like, okay, let's sit down and have the conversation, because that is something that is on my heart and I want to make sure that I express it. And if somebody can't take it, bye bye. These are not my people.
Yes, totally with you. And you know why? And this is where it gets subtle. Um, we the standards are very, very needed. Okay, it's like the Bible. Okay, and um, when you don't have these standards for yourself, I want to respond, because your response towards L is amazing, is perfect. Okay, but if I may put a little bit of Dina's
Sure,
charm,
of course. Yes, definitely.
I do think I can share that there is a power in setting standards, and that's what we are is telling you guys.
Mhm.
Um, and it is not easy. It sounds easy, and if you feel like you are in a yo-yo state, I don't have a clue what for state you and your partner is, Al. But if yo-yo for me is very, very painful, because if I was that yo-yo up and down and right and left and everywhere, it's going to be very painful. Okay, so I think there is a need for a third party in your situation. Alone is going to be very difficult to resolve it. So I'm very, because you are with us very regularly, I think every Monday. So I dare to tell you, reach out. Okay, and there will be a lot of emotional states and unhappy moments. And why? Because there was a time where you were in love, you were very much in love. That's why you are together. So that's what I recommend in this case. So if we continue with our topic, okay. Mm, I love
Mhm.
the topic today. Okay. um, the moment where you tense up, okay, that's where I state, when you tense up, because you are going to protect yourself. Okay, and you don't shut down completely, you adjust, you think before you speak more than before, you're not open anymore because you're cautious, you hold back what you actually feel, because you don't want to feel that first, don't want to say I love you first, or you don't want to share that you're falling in love first. So you want to say less, or sometimes say too much. Try to read the other person instead of feeling yourself. You move from being to managing, and that's where you have to stop, because you are not living your life. You need to
Mhm.
breathe. this discard if the person doesn't really like you, another one likes you. It's just like you said, you have your standards. Okay, if this one doesn't like you, he or she needs to know, I do like you, but if you don't like me, I will continue. As simple as that.
You know, I always attract the person who likes me as I am, because that's exactly how the law of attraction works.
Yes.
You just define what you desire, and you do not accept anything less.
Yes.
It's the same, like Dina. I always say, I'm sorry I interrupted you,
No, it's
but
okay.
it's just like same thing. Whatever we are doing in life, right? The way you do one thing in life, that's the way you are doing everything in life. So if somebody is complaining about their job but don't do anything about it, guess what? 5 years later, they are still miserable, they are still complaining, yet they haven't done anything. Same goes with the relationships. How many of these relationships are already stagnant, but people do not face the reality, and they are so scared to be honest with each other, so they continue staying in that fear, because it's going to cost financially, because it's going to cost emotionally, right? Yes, everything has the price, but just think about it. How much is it worth for you to stay in pain rather than having your own peace?
Yes. Now I'm talking Dutch to you. Yeah, I'm totally with you.
I wish I
Totally.
could understand.
Yeah, I just came from Holland, so I totally agree with you. Totally passionate, and I said I totally agree in Dutch.
Yep.
So, um, to respond to the title of the topic, if you trust the connection, you would not manage your way of being.
Mhm.
Okay, manage how you come across, manage how they respond, manage the outcome, because that's what we try to do also. And the irony is, Irina, the moment you start managing, you disconnect from yourself, from the very thing that created the connection between you guys in the first place. The
Mhm.
spark, that person will not see it anymore because you are trying to manage it. Okay? So it's very important. So what comes up? Are we
Yeah,
on the
what comes up is just like, if we are, like, because I do remember the time when in my marriage I was walking on the eggshells, right? And I'm telling you, this is not a fun feeling. And this is not something I would ever tolerate.
Yes.
So you either connect with yourself and say, okay, this is how I navigate life. This is what I accept, and this is non-negotiable. If you can't do what is very important to me, again, but it's always a two-way street, right? It's not like one person can stay in demand while the other person just do whatever, right? I
Yes.
always believe in, like it takes two to tango. I'm very, like aware of that. I'm very responsible in that sense. However, I want what I want. I
Yes.
want what I want, and that's the motto of my life. It's
Yes.
either like either I get everything or I get nothing, right? I'm not going to be just, happy with some, but not everything.
Yes, totally with you. In my case, I if I go back, I immediately my body reacts when I'm not connected. It immediately reacts by feeling uncomfortable, and I don't like to feel
Mhm.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I think it's automatically, and it wasn't like that in a couple of years ago. That being uncomfortable state for a while. So how uncomfortable uncertainty triggers control. I want to talk about that because that's
Mhm.
how I was dealing with that part of me. And that connection and uncertainty go hand in hand. um, you don't know where it's going or how they feel of what will happen, And uncertainty is uncomfortable. So the mind tries to solve it. How do I keep this going? How do I not mess this up? What should I do next? But here's the truth: control is the opposite of connection.
Mhm.
Connection requires presence, control requires prediction. You can't fully do both at the same time. And sometimes control is very, very unpleasant. It's very demotivating, not sexy. So I would really recommend put control aside. Use it only at work if you're a woman.
Mhm.
What comes up?
Totally. You know what? I'm a very what you sell it. I'm a very bossy lady. Okay. So that show up in my relationships, right? And like my ex used to say, like, go boss around people at your job, right? But you know what? Another great thing what comes up is just like be okay to express yourself, because this is important, and this is the skill that I'm learning right now, right? Since
Ah.
I'm not in a marriage anymore, and
Mhm.
this is like something I'm learning and adapting as we are building on our relationship with Bruno, because he was also like, woo, when I was sometimes, like we all have our own things to work through, because I believe that that's the beauty of the relationship. It's like the other partner is mirroring to us what is something for us to work on, right? And I'm also learning what are the ways that I can express myself, but not make it like direct, like right into the face, right? Like almost like punching, but more like, but more be like more gentle, and more like like that softness of like feminine energy, more softness, but at the same time like be very precise in what exactly I would love to communicate, right? So it's more like a dance.
Yes, it is.
Like it is, right? Relationships are like a dance, and we learn like how to, when we follow, when we lead, when like we make sure not to step on each other's toes, right? Super
Yeah.
important. But that's what makes the relationship fun. And again, I think it requires the open mindedness from each person, so they do not take things personally. And it's
Yes.
more like like I'm open to hear your side, right? Because a lot of times women are playing small, because they feel like the only time they express themselves, a man is going to attack them and to say, like, this is all your cartoon, it has nothing to do with the reality, this is what you're making up. And some men are so good in that manipulation. So the thing is like, do not ever question your truth.
Yes, true.
If you know what's true to you, do not allow somebody to talk you into something else. Because the minute somebody feels that they have, the right hand above you, they will use that power every time.
True. If you
Okay,
allow
hold
it.
on. Elle was saying something.
Uh-huh.
It's my way or go on your highway. Yeah, you know what, but I'm trying to, like I'm trying to be more, fair, right? But it just like I know exactly what I desire, and I'm just not willing to negotiate with something that's important for me, right? Trust factor is vital in upholding a great love. So true. Managing trust is holding the fort to have perfect harmony and joy. Absolutely. Yeah, totally. And again, for us to stand our ground, we have to know what we stand for. That's why we are saying for each person, because a lot of times we just go through motions, like like just going from one day to another without really paying attention, like what do I want to experience in that partnership, what
Yes.
is important for me, right? So anybody who is watching, whether you are in a relationship or maybe just thinking to attract that partner that you desire, take a piece of paper and start writing down what is important for you in the partner. And if you do not know where to start from the opposite. What did you not like in your last relationship? So now you are seeking the opposite because now you know that you do not want to experience that again. And look who is in the studio. Hello,
Oh,
Giovanni. Welcome. We have
yes.
our favorite guys in the studio with us. Relevant to the topic, book I'm reading, Boundaries Make Love Possible by Sarah Seidelman. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I love that. Hi, Giovanni. I love it. So, if time doesn't wait for us, so I want to give some tips. Who
Yep.
who is listening to us, Giovanni and El? If you have never heard of these tips, please put them in your lives, and please share with me if you had some things happening for you, because
Mm-hmm,
I want to
mm-hmm.
celebrate together with you.
Yep.
So, tips for staying open when it matters, because that is the thing. The most of the time we tighten up,
Mm-hmm,
and we need to stay open, okay, instead of tighten up and go control things. So let's ground this into practice. Here is how you begin to shift this pattern. Notice the moment you start tightening, either in the jaws, of in the heart, of in the belly. Pause instead of adjusting your behavior immediately. Pause. And you may talk to yourself. Pause. And you need to breathe into your body, not into your thought. A deep breath into your body. And stay curious instead of controlling. And when you're curious and calm, ideas come up. You are open for um, creative ideas, sexual energy, because you're open, and then you'll have the answer to continue. Okay? Allow uncertainty without trying to fix it. And most importantly, let connection unfold, trust instead of trying to secure it. That is where your power is, not
mm-hmm.
controlling. So please put this tool in your daily life and share with us, in the below caption, or um, comment us privately. I will share it with Irina, or Irina will share it with me. So I would love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm. And remember, we always have a choice, and it starts from ourselves because we can always choose how we respond rather than just going with our autopilot of react to anything, right? And the more we learn how to choose how we are responding in any given time, the more we are balancing our nervous system, and the more we are okay, no matter what the other person is saying or doing or anything else, right? So, and it's so important. The more we know who we are, the more we stand with our standards, the better partners we are going to have in our life and the best we are going to attract.
Yes,
All
amen. And
right. Yeah. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Elle and Giovanni, for joining. Lots of hugs and love to you both. And please share that episode with other gentlemen who might benefit, right? Or with any ladies that might benefit from that. But just remember, come back and bring other topics you want to talk about so we can actually have them on air.
I
Sending you
thought
lots of love and
I
light.
text
Yes.
Giovanni did share a topic, so I
Yeah, you
text you.
told me we are going to talk
Uh-huh.
about it and bring it for our next episode.
Yes, of course.
Yes, but for now, stand in lots of love and light. Connect with yourself. Keep loving yourself deeply, and know that when we trust ourselves, everything else we can turn around the way that is peaceful, that is great to us, and where we are standing our ground. Thank you, and see you in the next month.